everybody. Welcome to Lisa's Art Room. Tonight we're going to start working on our Vintage Paris junk journal. Y'all come in and say hi. Let me know you're here. I totally spaced and forgot to post the event. So I'm just going live. Hopefully y'all will find me. I don't know where my brain was. Dawn even said something to me earlier. She's like, "Are you going live tonight?" And I was like, "Yeah." And it didn't even dawn on me that that's why she was asking that. I'm doing good. Let's see. I'm going to try to find you guys on my other devices so I can see our chat as we are live. If you're watching this later, it will be a replay. There's my iPhone. Hey, Dawn. Find this on the, still showing the last live. Or hit refresh again. All right, slowly. There it is. I think I got it. Did you hear my comment, Dawn? When you asked me earlier, I totally didn't realize that I hadn't posted the event. So nobody knows I'm live. I don't know. Hopefully y'all will find me. So we're going to do a little Vintage Paris journal. It's going to be a soft cover with the Amazon packaging, very similar to the one I did last time with the Nature Journal. I have a ton of Amazon packaging. I need to use it up. So, hey Angela. So that's what we are doing. We're going to use this lovely fabric I have. Where did I get that? You know, I think I got that at Walmart. It's been a while. I bought it a while back. I'm pretty sure I got it at Walmart. It's a Waverly fabric, I think. Let's see. Yeah. Inspirations, I think, is what it's called. I don't know if that's the actual name or if that's just the title part. I had the rest of the fabric sitting here, and now I don't. I think I put it up. But we're using Amazon packaging, so typical paper type with this. Well, that one's, you can't even see the inside of that one. Here, let me grab a different one. It's got like this, well, none of these are, oh, here's one. I'm trying to show you. It's got this like foam stuff in it. That's what I've been using lately. So I've done mostly all the pre-cutting because I didn't want to take forever cutting up fabrics, because that does take a lot of time. Just getting all the measuring and stuff. And if you want to see one a little more complete, the Nature Journal cover, I pretty much show completely, even the cutting, I think. But this one, it'll be complete enough that y'all can see what to do. So let me go ahead. I've got a few people on here. I'm going to go ahead and pull the camera up top. I didn't check my volume. I think we're okay. It looks like it's all the way up. All right, so let me switch camera. Tell if it's straight. I think it's straight. Okay. Got my lights on. All right. So I've got all my layers here. And I've already cut my junk journal package. I'll go over it just briefly. So I went ahead and turned this one inside out. So it was like this, and I realized last time I was doing a live that I could just turn it inside out. If you're not cutting the whole bag, you don't really have that option, but if you're cutting the whole bag open anyway, you might as well turn it inside out so that you have a clean side to work with. And I'll show you what I mean. So if you're using, say, this size, this is sealed on all the corners except for where it's opened. So you can't really turn this one inside out because it's sealed, and you're just going to use it just like this and make a single signature journal, which you can do. I would probably paint some gesso or something over this, or put 2 layers of fabric so it doesn't show through, but you could do that. But this one is from a bigger package that I had. It's from one of these. So I ended up cutting off the ends, and when you do that, you get an open piece. Okay. And so since I had an open piece, I was like, well, I might as well turn it inside out. Stay in focus, camera. So that's why this has got this clean edge now, which I do like being able to do that. Granted, I'm putting this batting on here, so this side you might have been able to see through because I'm not going to put batting on that side, but this side you wouldn't be able to because the batting will cover it. And that's not really batting, it's really it's really snow flock. It's this stuff, because I don't have any batting, but it's almost the same thing. It's not like I'm going to wash it or anything, so. But it's actually just this snow cover with minus the glitter. Make sure you get one that doesn't have glitter, or you'll have glitter everywhere, but I get the plain one. But you can also use a thin batting if you want to put batting. You don't have to put batting. I don't think I did on the nature journal, so this time I'm going to on just the outside. Why is my light flickering? Please tell me you're not going out, Bob. I think it's, I'm going to just double check my plug and make sure. I've had this thing forever. Darn. Well, we're going to hope for the best and hope that my light does not go out today. And maybe I should buy a backup. Goodness gracious. All right, so this is going to be 6 by 9 for each side, and then a 2-inch spine. So it's 6 and 6, 12, 13, 14 inches wide total. Helps if you get the inches. So 14 inches wide by 9 inches tall. And that gives me, I'm using a 2-inch spine again. I did that on the last one too. It seemed to work out good for 3 signatures. If I was only going to do 1 signature, I would just do the fold in half type and just have the 1 signature. It's just a whole lot easier. I'm going to do this one. So what you want to do is cut it to your dimensions. Okay. And it can be open or not open. That's, you know, whatever you want. But I find it's actually much easier if it's open. You can always, it's going to be sewn anyway, so it doesn't matter. Now, if you have pieces that are together, like this bottom edge was like this, and it had this part sealed. I'll show you how I open that so that I got this. So all you do, I'm going to show you on a scrap here. If I can find a scrap. Is this a scrap? I need a scrap that's a really wide scrap. Let me get a smaller one. Like I said, I have a decent amount of these. I just have to find one. Yeah, I can show you on this one. All right, so when I've got a flat edge like this, and this is glued, okay, right there, but I want to open it up, but I don't want to cut it, I just take my palette knife, and I work it in like this until it comes through, just a little at a time, keeping it flat. And I didn't do the whole thing, but that just opens it up, okay, without tearing it or messing it up. And it seems to work fairly well. If you don't have a flat palette knife, then, you know, maybe choose a size that you can just go ahead and cut, because I don't know how else you'd do it without that. You might could use a knife, like a really, really flat knife. But anyway, that's how I did that. So, cut your fabrics to just bigger than your bag. So, and you're going to want to have, I like having this ruffled edge because I don't fold these around. You can fold them around. If you want to fold them like you do on different kinds of journals, you can do that. Cut it bigger and miter your edges and fold it in, and then cover this with paper. You can totally do that. I like this frayed edge look on these. So I do it just a little bit bigger. I probably could have gone a tiny bit smaller, but that's okay. I'd rather it be too big than too small. And then cut 2 pieces, front and back fabric. They can be different colors. They don't have to be the same color. On this one, I am using the same color. And then if you want soft batting, you'll need a piece for that. So let me see which is the front. I marked these because I didn't want to forget which was the front. So I have this open here. This is going to be a pocket. I like using a pocket. You could put a pocket at the top if you wanted, because there is an open edge there, but you've got to keep that in mind when sewing, okay? So I've decided this is my front. This is going to be closed. Bottom, of course, will be closed, and then this will be open for a pocket only on the back, not on the front, okay? So I need a piece that's going to go on the inside. So this piece is going to go here on the inside. Okay, so this is the inside, like that. And then I'll just flip it over. And then I need a piece for the front cover. And I'm going to put batting down. I'm not going to put this together yet, but I'm just kind of showing you. I need a piece of batting. Ideally, the batting should be smaller. I'm going to cut this a little bit smaller because this particular batting that I'm using stretches a lot. And I don't like the batting showing past the fabric. So I'm going to cut that just a little bit smaller. And then you need your piece for the cover. Now, when you're deciding your piece for the cover, make sure you lay your journal out on it and see where any designs are going to hit on the front. That's important. So you just definitely have to get your big piece of fabric, lay it out on your cover, and see where everything's going to hit before you do any cutting, and then leave yourself like a 1/4 of an inch on all sides. Hope that makes sense. And then you have to decide if you want a pocket or not. So this would be my cover. This will be the back. It doesn't stay together, so it'll be like this. And then on the inside, I'm going to have a ribbon for closure, and that actually will go here in the middle of the bags. It's going to come out the other side. We'll show you that in a second. I'm just kind of laying everything out so you can see. So that needs to be long enough to go across your journal and out enough to tie. Does that make sense? So piece of ribbon or whatever you're using. This is just some coffee dyed, I think it's sheet material. And then you need something for a pocket. Now you can use something like this. You can use lace, whatever you want. So I was debating on using this neutral material, or I'm thinking I might use this. Do they call this ticking? Is that what this is called? This material. I kind of like the contrast of this, so I'm leaning toward this. What do y'all think? There's white in here. I know this is very white, and this is a lot of cream, but there is white. Like this envelope is white. This bird is white. This is white. So there is white in there. Do you think that this is this called ticking? Is that the right name for this? This striped fabric? I feel like it is, but, or you could use neutral. I didn't have a big enough piece of lace, or I probably would have chose lace, but I didn't have any. So we're going to go with this. Any thoughts? Neutral or black and white stripies? So those are your pieces that you'll need. But first, we're going to start preparing our bag. Make sure you have all of your pieces cut. You know what you need. And if you're going to do a pocket and not do a pocket, that's up to you. You don't have to. Definitely don't have to do a pocket. I'm going to go ahead and cut this down just a little bit more. I think about 1/4 of an inch off of each side. Like I said, it stretches a lot. I really don't want it too big. This is my metal ruler. So let's see. That side's relatively square. All right, put that there. This side's relatively square. Okay. Let's see. 9. I think I want right at 9 should be fine, because I just want it to cover the bag part, not the rest of it. So I'm gonna cut it at 9. Chances are it'll stretch even more. It always does. Okay, and then this should be 14. Okay. I'm just using my grid because it's honestly the easiest thing to do. Let's double check that. I think it's 14. Yep. Okay. So that is my batting. I call it batting. It's not really batting. Faux batting. All right, so I went ahead and I measured across. So I had marks. Where are my marks? I don't know where my marks are. All right, that's fine. I must have done it on the, oh, I did it on the other side. This is the front. Okay, that's fine. So when you got your bag done, you want to measure across. So measure to your 6-inch mark. Put a little mark. Measure to your 7-inch mark, because that's your center. And measure to your 8-inch mark. This is going to give you a 2-inch spine. And then you want another 6 inches. And it should be right there. Okay? So do your measurements and then try to make your creases if you can. Do them on both sides. And kind of make a crease. This is probably one of the hardest things to do at this point, because the bag is separate and it's a little fussy, even using a bone folder. But attempt to make a crease. It's not big. Now we're going to add the ribbon in. So I'm going to put the ribbon through here and then through here. So I just want to make a cut where the ribbon's going to come out. And I'm just going to do it right here at the halfway mark. So half of that is 4.5. So I'm just make a mark at 4.5. And we'll see how big my ribbon is. Where'd it go? Let's see, I think the other side might be a little bit bigger. So I just want to be able to pull this through that slot. So I'm just going to kind of center it and just give myself a little mark there and a little mark there. Okay, and then I'm going to use that to see where it hits on the other side. Logically, it should be, what, 4 and then 5. So let's see, 4. must be about an inch wide. So that is where that's going to come out. You want it to come out. Sorry, I'm probably not in camera. You want it to come out in the center. Okay, so that should be about where my center is. 4.5 is right there. So that's close. It's pretty close. All right. So we're going to take our knife and cut this little slot. Y'all still with me? Where's my knife? So I'm just cutting a slot for that to go through. Okay, and pull it through, and that's going to go through like that. This will be closed down and like this. Now, this, I don't want to glue it to this side because that's my pocket, but I'm going to cover this anyway. The last time I had a little extra and I folded it over, I didn't have extra with this one, so I couldn't do that fold over thing for my edges because this bag just wasn't big enough. But if you do have extra, and you can cut it and fold it over and not have to put another piece on here, because I don't think this is going to be strong enough if I didn't do that. So I'll explain that more in a minute. So you can check your ribbon, make sure it's centered. So just kind of, I just fold it this way, and then you can see if it's centered because it'll come out at the same spot. So just play with it until you get it close to being centered. Now, if you don't want to go all the way across your journal, you don't have to. You could have your ribbon just start right there and come off, and on this side start inside here like an inch or so and come off. I do like a little bit of the stability of the ribbon by putting it all the way across. But if I didn't have that much material and I was using something that maybe was more expensive material, then I would not worry about that happening. Does that look even? Oh, it's not even because I'm not in the spot. I was like, why doesn't that look even? So I'm just going to double check and make sure that this comes out at the same spot within my little marks that I did there. So I'm just going to put those right where they are. I'm going to fold this over and see if it looks like it's going to hit in the right spot. Just to double check, and it looks good. Okay? And that's just me just making sure I did it right. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down on the inside, and then I'll be sewing that too. So I'm just going to pull that out of the way. Actually, I might try to use that to mark with. I don't really want to put glue on my fabric per se, so I'm going to real lightly just kind of get an idea where I need glue. Now this will be inside the bag, so it doesn't have to be glued a lot. I did iron this because it was very wrinkly. Okay, and I'm just going to use, I think, Fabri-Tac for this. Okay. Now, I'm going to glue it here, and then I'm going to cover it because if I can get my Fabri-Tac to come out. Okay. I had a pin in there. It's still got globby because I've been keeping it upside down because I would just get so tired of waiting on it. It's just a little globby, I think. All right, if I can get this stuff out. Oh my goodness, you are not going to cooperate, are you? No. All right, I might have to grab my other bottle if I can't get this to cooperate. Bear with me 1 second while I fight with my Fabri-Tac. It shouldn't be plugged up. It doesn't feel like it is, but it might just be that it's getting thick. as Fabri-Tac gets older, it does tend to get thick. I've added acetone to it, but it really didn't help. It's still just too thick. But I only need enough to hold that ribbon down, so I'll try to get enough on here. Might have to pull my other bottle. Hit the hole. Oh my goodness. Doing good. All right, where's my spreader? I'm just going to use this little plastic thingy. Spread that down just a little bit, just so it's not bumpy. And line this up. Okay. Now I'm going to cover this and sew this. So I'm going to sew. Gosh, how am I going to do that? I'm going to have to get the sewing machine out in between. That's fine. I hate sewing on camera, guys. It's so complicated. I'm trying not to wrinkle up my fabrics. I'm doing a really poor job of it. Let me set these over here where I'm not going to wrinkle them all up. Usually they'll flatten back out, but nonetheless, they do wrinkle easy. They're so thin. All right, so I'm going to grab my sewing machine. This is going to be somewhat complicated. Mostly because it's just hard to sew on my table. All right, let's see. So I just want to get this sewn on here so it's stronger. You can just count on your glue, but I don't know. I prefer sewing it. Hopefully my sewing machine will cooperate today. It's not always the best. We shall see. I did clean it, so there's that. I gotta take this mic off before I get tangled up in these cords. Bear with me 1 second while I plug this guy in. All right, so I'm just gonna sew the ribbon on right now on both sides. I know this isn't the best angle and you can't see a lot, but I'm just going to do a little, I think I'll do a, do I want to do, I'm just going to do a straight stitch. It's safer. It's just safer. I might do a zigzag on the outside, but I'm just going to do a straight stitch right now. My machine does not like me doing zigzags. All right, so just sewing this on here. I'll show you what it looks like after I do it. It's literally just for the most part. Okay, there's one. And then I'm going to flip it over here and do this side. Now this side, you can go ahead and fold it closed because that's going to be completely glued down. So you don't have to leave it open to sew it. It can stay, it can be closed. So we're going to do this. Just looked really long suddenly. All right, so we're going to sew that. I'm trying to get as close as I can to the edge so it's strong. I'm just using my reverse to kind of move it back and forth. This stitch looks really odd. All right. Let me set that. We're going to move it. I'm going to move it over here. see if I can. Oh my gosh, there's just too much stuff, guys. I'm gonna try to sit it right there because I'm gonna need it again in a minute. Don't want to put it all the way up. All right, so now our ribbon is on the inside and it's nice and strong, and it's on this side and nice and strong. Okay, that's just super important because a lot of pressure is put on your ribbons when you're, you know, tying your journal over and over and over. I'll clip these. Okay. Now, this is going to be my pocket, okay, and I don't want to look into the pocket and see that, so I'm actually going to cover this side. It's not a huge deal, but I think it'll look better covered. So I grabbed some of my haberdashery paper because it's honestly the strongest paper I have currently. And I cut a piece to fit in here. I might actually cut it, I don't know. I'll leave it that size. I thought about cutting it a fraction smaller, but I think I'll leave it that big. So I'm just going to sew, when everything is put together, this will be sewed down, but for now I'm just going to glue this down in place over this ribbon. That way when you look into the pocket, you'll at least see a pretty side. This side I'm just going to leave. I don't think I'm going to cover both sides. I could, but honestly you probably won't notice it that much because it's mostly brown anyway. Yeah, I don't think it's necessary. So we're just going to cover this one side with this pretty fat paper. So I think I'll use art glitter because Fabri-Tac being a pain. Hopefully it won't dry on me before I get this whole thing covered. Like I said, it's going to get sewed also around the edges. So I'm going to try not to go completely to the edge just because I don't want to goop up my sewing machine. But I do want it to hold in place and help out just a little bit. I wonder which side is up. Let me see. I'm going to put a little extra right there, I think. I don't know which side. This has writing, so. All right, that's up. I'm going to put a little extra right here. Just where I'm worried about it being the strongest. Okay. So line that up, hopefully, on my first try. Trying to get right to the edge, so I'll have to trim it. And I'm not all the way to the center, but it doesn't matter because nobody's going to be peeking down in there and notice that it's not all the way to the center. I am going to flatten it though because it didn't get glue right there for some reason. So just get some glue right there. Just make sure it's sticking. All right, there. Okay, maybe. It just keeps wanting to come up. Okay, now you're gonna stick. It's a heavy paper, so it tends to want to pull away sometimes. All right, that should be good. Pretty paper on there. Okay. This is just what you're going to see on the inside of the pocket. Now this will have fabric on it, so, and it's going to be like that. All right. So at this point, I just want to make sure that this stays where it's supposed to stay while I'm sewing it, and I don't trust that it's not going to move around. So I'm going to glue this. Not going to glue this except on the edge here and the edge here. And then all this can be glued. Even this center can be glued too. I think I'm just going to use art glitter. I don't know. I don't know if I could use PVA. It takes so long to dry. If my Fabri-Tac was behaving, I'd use that, but it's really not. I'm going to try to use this. Do I have a bigger art glitter? I'm going to see if I have a bigger one with a bigger hole, because I think I do. I think I have a refill here somewhere. Let me see. Oh, that's a really big nozzle. I guess I could brush it on. Maybe I'll do that. It's going to take so long to put all that on there. I'm just going to pour out a little bit. All right, and let's grab a spatula. So, like I said, just don't forget where you should glue and shouldn't glue, because that's important. But you don't want glue too close to the outside, ideally, I think, because I'm just worried it'll gum everything up. I'm trying to work fast, because you know this stuff's going to dry fast on me. But mostly it just has to hold it in place until everything is sewed down. See if I can get it on here fast enough. Wish art glitter didn't dry so fast sometimes. I'm thinking by putting it on this way, it'll dry slower. Oops. Stay on camera. What do you think? You staying wet for me? Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. Looks like I do the edges. So I want to do just here and here. All right. Let's see if that works. Make sure it's centered, ideally. So try to get your edges together. Okay, why is it? Hold on. It's not centered. Hold on. I don't know why I was so far off. I got too much stuff in my way. I'm going to do this edge because that edge was just not cooperating. All right, that's better. I'm just trying to make sure that my edges are pretty close to together. Ideally, I want them, you know, flush. And I'm just going to see if that glue is holding good. All right, so that should leave, well, it didn't stay glued, but that should leave a pocket here that's not glued. I'm going to try that one more time because it's not holding. It doesn't seem to like craft paper. Y'all find that? Your art glitter doesn't like craft paper? You got to hold it longer. Hey, Deborah. I'm just going to try to be a little less impatient and hold it for a second. All right, so there's that. Okay, so now we've got our base of the cover with our little pocket here. I'm just going to wipe that off real quick before it dries. It is silicone, so it will roll off of it if I don't get it done. I didn't waste too much, that's good. Always worry when I'm pouring out my art glitter because it's not cheap. I could have watered it down a little bit too. You can water it down a little. All right, so now we want to add our fabrics. So here's where you got to pay close attention that you get everything in the right spot. So the back fabric and the center fabric. Okay, so the center fabric on mine is my Eiffel Tower is up here. So I know that that's not the center, that's the front. So this is where my inside is. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of get a general idea. I'll flip it over and check the direction. And then my ticking type material. And I'm just going to double check the positioning by flipping it. Center. Now I may cut this and trim it and fray it a little more. I don't know. I might just leave it. It's a little big, honestly. I went a little bit large, but I always am so worried I'm going to have it the wrong size. I just... Oh, it's the other material. I was like, why is that? Okay, I'll pull that over. I think the ticking fabric's too far over. All right, so that's pretty close. That's pretty close. As long as it's even. I tore this instead of cutting it because you get a better edge. And tearing it when it's really small can be tricky, so I always worry I'll get, you know, not enough material there to tear. All right, so I think that's correct. This is the front. I wrote here on front in chalk pencils so I could see it, so I'd know which direction. It does seem to help. And I'm going to try to match this up as best as possible. It can be trimmed a little. I feel like this one piece is not over far enough. Let me look at that again. I'll go over just a little bit more. I think this is crooked. It must be. All right, right there. Right there. And then I will glue this in place just enough to hold it while I'm sewing it. Okay, that's not bad. I'm just going to do something real quick here. I want to check I want to see where that ticking is lying, that striped fabric. I want to make sure it's in the right spot before I start gluing. So I'm going to kind of just tack these with some clips. I think that's flush. I'm going to double check in a minute. Like, I cut these separately so they're not, you know, they're not identical. Close enough, hopefully. All right, where is that laying? Oh, it's just a little wide. That's all it is. Okay. That's fine. It'll just stick out a little bit then. I could try trimming it. I don't know if I trust myself. It doesn't stick out much. Maybe a 1/16 of an inch. So I'll probably just fray them a whole lot later. Right, this is even, that's even. Everything looks even. Okay. So I do want a piece of lace here, and that makes it a little more difficult. I don't know if I want to try to sew it. I kind of want to sew it. I really want to sew it. I think I'm gonna glue that part. I'm just not sure if I want to try to sew it in. I like this lace. This is just some Dollar Tree lace. I think, well, I might glue it, guys. I don't trust that I'm going to be able to hold it in place and sew it. All right, I'm looking for my scissors. So I'm kind of just matching where these hearts will line up best. And then I'm going to snip them and then try to keep that little bit there. Okay. It's got that little tail. And then in the center, I'm going to do that too. I just got to, hopefully the hearts will hit in the right spot. I can do that. You can save these little hearts and use them on something else too. Just leaving that little tail there. I'll decide if I want to sew that. I don't think I want to try to sew it. It's going to be a lot to hold together, but we'll see. Sewing is always the better option. But sometimes it's not as easy. Okay, so this is where the signature is going to hit. And I don't particularly want those hearts in there. They're kind of bulky. So let me see if I can figure this out. Where's my bag? I'm finding the edge of my bag. Okay, so this heart and this heart are going to be on the signature part. So I'm actually going to remove these two hearts. I think that should be the same number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. So I didn't want them in there. If it was a flat lace, I'd just leave it. But it's not a flat lace. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have it go all the way across, but I'm going to just snip off the hearts. I'm just going to pull them off to do it because it's easier. The hearts have a lot more sewing on them, and they're thicker. I just didn't want that extra bulk in there. So these are going to go like this. Okay, so that's how that's going to go. But I think I'll just glue it. I could just sew it to this first. Maybe I should. I'm not great at sewing a straight line, guys. I'm really not. Do you think I can sew a straight line? Maybe. Maybe. All right, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to try to sew this to this so I don't have to glue it. All right, so let me move this aside. Pull my sewing machine over. And see if I can sew a straight stitch. Hopefully. Where can I put you? Let's put you there. All right, so I'm just going to try to line this up somewhat. I don't have any pens, but I think I can work with the clips. I kind of like the clips and I kind of don't for sewing. They're just so bulky. I use them for everything else though. I use them for a lot. It's just not always sewing. Something is rattling. What is it? I think it's that. Yeah, that was it. Little rattles drive me crazy, guys. All right, we're going to try to sew a straight stitch and sew this on. Fingers crossed. I'm trying to go right on that line part. Am I on my biggest stitch? Yeah, okay. Let's see if I can hit the line. Kind of, sort of. I don't know why I can't sew a straight stitch. My sewing machine is still trying to snag on me. I can hear it. Still not happy. I think I need to have it serviced. I cleaned it. Okay. Let's see how bad that is. Maybe not too bad. It's just got to hold in place while I sew everything else. Okay. How'd I do? Is it horrible? It's not too bad. It's manageable. I think we'll be okay. All right, let me grab my fabric back, which is falling apart. All right, we're going to put it back together because I messed it all up. That's the front cover. My batting just totally came out of there. I probably didn't have the clip on it because it was so far inside. Now I got to place everything back together again because it came apart. Goodness gracious. All right, batting first. I'm gonna glue this batting in place first because it's kind of being a pain. All right, front. Let's make sure I'm where I want to be. Front. All right, where is my Fabri-Tac that is out of the bottle? I think it's a little better. We'll see. Maybe. All right, so we're just gonna try to get enough of this on here to hold it in place. I can do it. Don's always cheering me on. Come on, glue. Nope. It's like molasses. I just want to tack it, so I don't need a ton. For this batting, I'm not even going to smooth it out because the batting's really thick. All right, let's try that. Lay my batting on. Try to get it in the right spot because who knows if I'll be able to move it. All right, that's good. Okay, and then let me just make sure that's the right direction and everything. How do I tell? I can't flip it. This is the front, right? No. No, this is the front. All right. This is the inside cover. Let's just do that first. All right, inside cover. I do have a little more room with the Fabri-Tac. I'm just going to go for it and hope I get it in the right spot. Oh my gosh, glue, I shouldn't have turned you over. Now you're not coming out. All right, so where's my pocket? Okay, my pocket's there. I talk to myself a lot, guys. Oh, this is just not really. These bottles, I hate these bottles. They are so hard to squeeze. It's like they made the bottle out of this really hard plastic. That's why I always switch it over to the Sugar Belle, because the plastic on these things is like so hard. All right, let's try that. All right, now this one I am going to spread because it's thinner. But it's still going to be sewed. But I don't want it moving around any more than it has to. All right, let's see if I can get this centered. I hope. I'm going to just tack it and move it over so I can find the center. And then let's see if I can play with it. I should have a decent amount of time. And then I want to make sure that it's, I gotta rub it, but I can't rub it from this side. Okay, where's my other, this has got glue on it. I have another one floating around here somewhere. This is gluing? Not very well. I don't need it to glue a lot, but I do need it to stay. Let me see. Is that holding? Gosh, it's horrible. It's just not staying. I'm going to switch glues. I'm just going to add a little hard glitter. None of my glues are working for me today. Probably shouldn't mix these, but I don't like to use the art glitter. Sometimes it'll show through the fabric. So I'm just going to put it on super thin and hope for the best. Because my Fabri-Tac is just not working. for some reason. Alright, is that enough to stay? Maybe. Let's hope so. Alright, flip that over. Make sure I am... This is the outside. This is the inside. This is the ribbon. Making sure my ribbons, everything's in the right spot. Yeah, okay. This is the inside. That is really... I don't know. I'm going to try to turn this Fabri-Tac upside down for a minute. It should work, but it's just not. Are you going to stay? Okay. I mean, it's time to buy new Fabri-Tac, I think. Okay, so we've got our batting, and we want this. Try to match those as best I can. That looks pretty close. Is the right direction, right? Yep, okay. Just double checking. Right. Are you coming out now? Maybe? I'm going to try this again, see if I can get this stuff to flow. If not, I'll just take the lid off of it. Is it going to come out? Oh, it's never going to spread on this either. Yeah, that's never... It's never going to work on this batting, guys. I always forget about that. The batting does not like glue. I'm just going to put enough to tack it, hopefully. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to sew it and hope for the best. It's the only catch to using the batting, I think, is that you can't put glue on it. I could put glue on the fabric, but then I risk it showing. So we're just going to put a little bit of glue. Hope for the best. I just want a tiny bit. I'm using my... Just a couple little spots here. It's too fuzzy. Regular batting might not be this fuzzy. I don't know. Do I always have this issue, guys? Probably. I've done these many times. It just needs to stay on there long enough for me to sew it. Alright, get that off my fingers. I have Fabri-Tac everywhere. Luckily, it rolls off kind of well. Alright, so that is my outside. Let's go back to the inside and put our pocket. Alright, so we've got our pocket. Ideally, you want to be able to sew everything all at once. I'm going to try and tack this just real lightly on the edge here. Maybe, if I can get this glue to... Gosh, it's horrible, guys. I'm just going to... Maybe I'll use the art glitter. I can't work with that stuff. It's not cooperating. Where'd the lid go to that? I have no idea. Alright, we're just going to use our glitter. I'm failing at the Fabri-Tac today. I just want it to stay enough for me to sew it. I'm trying not to do where the frayed edges are either, because if I put the glue on the frayed edges, I won't be able to fray them more. So I'm going to stay just inside, about where my I forgot the material. The bag is. The bag definitely hits a lot in because I did cut this a little big. I'm hoping this will hold it and not gum up my needle. We're going to hope for the best. hold it enough. I didn't put any there. I think I'll be fine. I may, I don't know if I want to sew there or not. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just put a little glue. Maybe I will put a little glue. I'm going to put a little glue right down the middle. Can I tell where the middle is? Yeah, I can kind of tell where the middle is. We're just going to put a little bit there. Hopefully it'll help it stay. All right. I think I got it. Let's see what happens, guys. All right. I'll get this back on. Let me hit the hole for my needle. Okay, so we need to sew. I am going to clip this. It shouldn't move, but it probably will, so I'm going to clip it as best I can. There's too much, I have way too much fabric out there. I should have cut it smaller. I'll figure it out as I go. When I sew it, I do want to try to grab a little bit of that bag, even if it means me going around twice, so that I can. Because ideally I do want to grab some of the bag. And I put my fabric, gosh, there's like a good ½ an inch there. It should only be like 1/4 inch. ½ an inch is too much. All right, I'm going to start, I think, here. And we're going to go for it. All right, so excuse the sewing. I'll see if I can get everything in my right spot. And I've thought about using a zigzag, but I think I'm just going to go straight because it'll be 1, quicker, and 2, less likely to mess up on me. But I'll go around probably twice. You can see that clip's going to be in my way. All right. I'm so nervous. So first I'm going to try to grab the bag, because that's important that I do grab the bag at least with one of the stitches. And by that I'm feeling on the inside and seeing where it hits. And then we're going to see what happens, guys. Try to make sure you have your ribbon out of the way. And hopefully nothing buckles too much. By gluing it, it seems to cut down on that happening. Okay, so when you get to the end, you want to put your needle down, lift your foot, and spin it. Wow, I'm going to come out, I'm going to go one more stitch. Just one. It's really, I'm going to have to try to trim that off. It's way far out. All right, one more time. I do think these are pretty covers, though. Trying to keep my fabric flat. Trying not to, I don't want this wrinkle. Definitely trying to wrinkle on me. Okay. There. Spinner. Make sure my ribbon's out of the way. Am I on the outside? I should have sewed it from the other side, guys. It's not a big deal, but ideally you want your pretty stitch on the outside, but it's not the end of the world. Let me get over this bulky ribbon. might do my second stitch on the other side. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Let's go a little slower. It sounded rough again. It was sounding decent for a couple of times, and then it's bad rough again. See if we can get this, hopefully not to buckle. I'm dealing with a lot. It can be a challenge. I think it's going to buckle on me a little bit. All right. Let's see what that looks like. This aside and just take a peek at it. Make sure everything looks okay before I do a second stitch. That's not bad. That's not bad. I caught the material, so that's good. I caught the paper bag, I think, everywhere. Missed it just a fraction there. All right, so I think I'm gonna do one more around just for security's sake. I think I'll go inside this stitch because I've missed it in a couple of places. I don't know. I kind of want to go outside because then I don't have that batting showing. I don't know. We'll go inside. All right, one more time, guys. Put up with my sewing. Like I said, I'm going to go from the outside this time because I should have done that to start with. Although my stitch doesn't look horrible from that side. Sometimes my stitch on the back side looks awful because my sewing machine is not great. It's not a happy little camper. I could do a zigzag, but gosh, do I want to risk it? Not really. I do, but I don't. I'm going to say no. I'm just going to go just on the inside of that stitch, I think. I'm debating. I could always just glue that where the batting's showing. You know what? I'm going to go on the outside. I want to get the batting not to show, and it's still showing just a fraction. Come on. So we're going to go just outside it. Do you understand what I'm saying? As far as the batting goes. Shh, I know. I know you're not happy. I'm talking to my poor sewing machine. It's like, why do you abuse me so? All this paper sewing. To a lot of paper sewing. I think it must add a bunch of dust. We got it. Okay, let's get the sewing machine out of the way. Let's see. That off. Let me go unplug it. Ooh, it's hot in here. I feel like my feet just kicked down to 80 or something. Look at that. There you go. Okay, what time is it? 10:10, not too bad. Okay, so this is our outside. And where anywhere it's just uneven there, I'm just going to try and even it up. And this is how it's going to look. It'll have, I'm going to decorate some more later. I'm not going to do it now because I think I'll wait until I sew that in. I'm just going to see where these are hidden. My fold is a fraction off there. I think my fold was off. It's okay. So I'm just going to even up these edges that are kind of uneven. I think, debating how I want to do it. I wish I could tear it, but I can't. So I'll just try to cut it. Oh, thank you, Dawn. I lay it down and then I forget it. Sorry about that. At least y'all are on top of things. Okay, let's see. I'm looking for my pointy tool. Oh, there it is. I'm just going to try to fray this a bit. It should fray relatively easy because I'm on the grain, hopefully, because I tore it. If I can just get the frayed edges to line up a little better, it'll look straighter. It looks like the material you have on a bench in your bedroom. It's a pretty material. It's sticking right there. Probably have some glue there or something. Okay. There. Now it's not so obvious that it's not straight there because I got the frayed edge there. I'm going to fray this one just a fraction more too. Alright, that's good. It's a little more even. How's this side? Oh, we have some foam. Oh, it's the heart. It's like it looked like foam. It's not. It's just the end of my heart there. I clip that off. The nice thing about having the frayed edge is that you can make it look even relatively easy because everything, once it's frayed, it just looks more even. All right, it's pretty good. That side's good. The inside's not too bad. This side right here. Okay, got lots of string. If I didn't already have a billion bits of string, I would save this. These are fun for putting behind things for texture. So save them, but I have, gosh, I have so much of it. Honestly, I don't know if I'll save it, but you can. All right, so that is how that's going to look. So we have our pockets that'll be there, and then we have sewed at the end completely shut. Wow. Do I care? I kind of care. I wasn't supposed to sew that edge. know, do I want a pocket or not? I've got that material in there too. Gosh, decisions. Ugh. I was supposed to sew each one of those individually, and then just sew the ends. I guess I did it right the last time, but I did not do it right this time. And I don't know if I want to take it out. I might just not have a pocket. I could just tear it and open it back up. I'm not sure if I can sew that edge. Gosh, guys. I do like my pockets. Do I have a seam ripper somewhere close? No. All right. Yeah, I don't have a seam ripper anywhere close to where I am, but that's okay. It's just going to take me a minute. Do it the old-fashioned way. Once I get it started, I should be able to get it out of there. So don't sew your ends if you have a pocket. Or you won't have a pocket. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but, you know, I did kind of want my pocket. That's what I left it there for. It's just sewing each individually now that I have all the others on there is going to be a little harder. All right, why are you not cooperating? There. All right, well, hopefully I can get this off of here. We'll do it again. Did I glue it shut? I probably glued it shut too. I don't know if I did or not. I feel like I remembered not to glue it. I just didn't remember not to sew it. Let's see if I can get this. I really need a seam ripper, but yeah, I don't think it's glued. Let me see, is my pocket glued shut? No, my pocket is not glued shut. Okay. Do you think I can just get in there? No. I can't. I don't think I can get it spread enough to... Maybe I can. Okay, maybe. So I don't want to mess up my sewing on my ribbon. Make sure I keep that. Come on, get under there. These are very sharp little scissors. Okay. All right, I get that. I want the ribbon to stay. I don't want to cut that. Okay, got it. All right, we're going to get this, guys. Just gonna have to be a little bit patient because I messed up. It happens. It happens to the best of us. Just left it, but I did intend to have a pocket, so we're just gonna open her back up. I don't know how I'm gonna sew it. That's gonna be tricky. Let's think about that. Sewing it before you do the ends is definitely easier because then you don't have to sew around that edge. And I'm not seam ripping this whole thing. That ain't happening. All right. So there's my pocket. I just got to figure out how I'm going to sew just that piece. Get all this thread off of here. tear off things that aren't thread. There's like a line there. It's not thread. All right. Get this side. Do as I say, not as I do, guys. Okay. Now, this is going to be the tricky part. So I need to sew just this part and then just this part. And typically I don't have this sewn at that time. I just sew the two ends and then I put it together. But I forgot that step. So my sewing machine has a little thing. I don't know how much I can get in there. I don't think I can get all the way to the end because it's not like fabric and I don't think it's going to go all the way to the end. I could hand sew it, but gosh, which I might do. We're going to see if I can sew it with the machine. I don't know. I don't have one of those little handheld sewing machines, you know. All right, let's see. Back we go to this. Take this off. Ooh, noisy, sorry. It's got a little bit of a, what do you call that? A sleeve sewer, I guess. There's a name for it. A sleeve arm? Is that what it's called? Trying not to take my mic off so I don't forget. All right, let's see what we can do. I'm not sure how I can get in there or not because it doesn't give me enough room. I don't think I can do enough of it. I might could do just a tiny bit of it, but I can't get around it enough. Gosh, guys. I'm going to have to fold it back to do it. I can almost get it over. Maybe if I just take a little bit off, maybe an inch. I'm going to try. I want it to be right. I'm just going to take like an inch. And separate it. It's got a little bit of glue, but I think I can release it. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to fold it over just an inch so I don't have to re-sew the whole thing. I think that'll give me enough space to get in there. Okay, so I'm going to sew this and then I'll sew the other side, which is what I should have done in the first place. Goodness gracious. It won't be perfect, but it'll be close. Close to perfect. All right, let's see if we can do this. So try to do it before you do the whole thing. Ideally, guys. Should I put 2? I'll put 2 because it's got 2 everywhere else. But that's really the only reason. Hope my bobbin doesn't run out. I hate switching bobbins. Alright, now I'm going to flip it over. Fold that side back a little bit. And do this side. Okay, we're going to get this. We can do it. I knew it as soon as I said it. I was like, make sure that heart is not in the wrong direction. And it is. I grabbed it. I totally grabbed it. All right, I'll fix it. It's okay. We're going to have lots of mistakes, guys. All right, heart. You need to stay where you're supposed to stay. I'll do it on this side so I can see maybe. It's hard to do on that side because I can't see what I'm doing. Right, I'm going to try to do it on this side. If I can get my thread out of the way. All right, thread, cooperate. I have to keep that piece in the middle. No, I can't. I can't do it on that side. We're just going to have to, let me think. We're just going to have to hold that heart down as I get there. It's just wanting to fold up on me. All right. See if I can get it to lay flat. Where's my little pointy tool? I don't want to stick my fingers in there. Use this. Go in there flat. Is it going? I forgot about those hearts. They're a little awkward. I think it worked. All right, let's see. Did it work? Yes. Now it's the right direction. It flipped on me. I was like, uh-oh. All right. So now we've got our two sides sewed down with our pocket. Now we have to close these ends back up. Just these where I opened that stitching up. I'll do it from the front, I think. I'll just clean up some of this mess so I can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to come around the corner again, I think. Okay. Whew. Goodness gracious. Oops. I do it twice, so. One more time. Let me make sure that inside is cooperating. Everything's flat. I'm locking my stitch and everything. Just giving it a little back up there. All right. It's a little messy on the corners, but not horrible. It's a messy stitch anyway, so. All right, where's the other corner? Here. All right. I can't believe I did that. No, I kind of can. Leave it to me to do something silly. One more stitch and we are good, I think. And hopefully we haven't messed our pocket up. Oh, I went around too far. Girl, what are you doing? What are you doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't. Really don't. All right. I messed it up. I'm going to open it back up again because I went around the corner. Wasn't supposed to go around the corner. I am really doing good. I don't even know, guys. I just do not know what on earth I am thinking today. How much of that stitching is still in there? Is it okay? It looks okay. All right. Don't go back around the corner. Just go on the end. Our ends are going to be really secure. Lots of stitching in there. All right, did I not close my pocket? We're good. All right, let's do the other one and then we're good. Don't close your pocket. I am just determined to close that pocket. Okay. Let's see how much damage it did. Goodness gracious. Like that. The foot. You go over there. Oops. Sorry, too many cords, guys. Which one is the sewing machine? Ah, Mike. I have like 6 cords. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna get this if I don't pull my mic out. Sorry if it's making lots of noise. Whew, I am out of breath now. Okay, let's see what kind of look we got going on here. Lots of sewing. It's not terrible. Tiny bit messy, but it's okay. I'm just going to clean this up just a little bit. Sometimes I'll leave the strings, but honestly, it's just so messy. I'm not gonna leave that many strings. Okay, side. All right. Now, let's see if we got it right. Got our front. Got our inside. It's really messy. Seeing stitches everywhere. Okay. I didn't get 2 right there for some reason. Why didn't I get 2 right there? Oh, I bet it's because I ripped it back out for that heart. I might fix it later. I'm not doing it right now. All right. So now we have our pocket. Okay. That's what our pocket looks like. So it should be okay. May reinforce this edge with some glue. I kind of missed the cardboard there. I'm not sure. I don't really want to do another stitch. So we'll see. But that is the cover, guys. That was a long, hard one with all my silly little mistakes. But that should be good. Nice pockets. And a pocket for our... I like this one for the writing board when I add it. So that is it. And then this will tie here. Like so. Okay. So step 1 to our journal. Tip 1, do not close your pocket. Oh, goodness. That's all right. I always feel like when y'all see me mess up, you know that, we all make mistakes. So maybe you don't feel so bad when you make a mistake. Because it happens to all of us. All right, guys. That is our live for tonight. I will be back on Sunday for Stencil Sunday. And then I will be back on Wednesday to work on our bluebird painting, and then Friday again for the journal. Okay? All right. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening, and thank you for being patient with me tonight. And I will see you next time. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.